Hello everyone, this is Raymond Sayer. I'm a representative of Mining Scout, and today I'm very proud to have Ian here from Pasofino Gold. Ian, can you talk a little bit about your company, where you're based, what's your focus?
Our company is a TSX listed vehicle. We've been in Canada for the last 2 years, trading under the symbol VEIN, V-E-I-N. Our project is in Liberia in West Africa, a gold project. We've been working on it now for the last, 2 years. We've raised $25 million for it. And the results of our efforts in West Africa is a completed definitive feasibility study with 4 million ounces of gold in the category of measured, indicated and inferred, of which 2.8 is in the reserve category, running at a grade of 1.68 grams per tonne. So the study suggests we should be mining gold at 200,000 ounces a year production. We should have a cash cost of less than $1,000 an ounce and a capital of less than 400 million. So we are all systems go now for the next phase.
Why did you choose Libya?
Liberia?
Liberia, sorry.
Yeah, we chose Liberia just because the project was attractive, had been overlooked by several of the mining companies that spend a lot of time in West Africa. And Liberia, I'm glad you did ask me that question, because just for 2 minutes, Liberia is a country where you don't have the same challenges that most companies are now facing in West Africa, like Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Cote d'Ivoire even. These are areas where there's a lot of insurrection, rebellion, drama. Liberia is incredibly tranquil. And actually has a single religion. The Christian religion happens to dominate by 95% of the population. So it's a secure, typical Western European, Western American type company with a solid investment climate and a good government to work with. So for us, it made a lot of sense.
Okay. Of course, with a company of your size, management is quite crucial, I would say, for the success. Could you elaborate a bit on your management staff and on yourself?
100%, and I agree with you. When I talk about the company, I always talk about two resources. You have the resources in the ground, which is the 4 million ounces of gold, but equally important is the resources of people. Without good people, you can screw up a very good project. So fortunately for me, and one of the reasons I got involved in this project, I spent a large part of my life in Africa. 50 years ago tomorrow, I first went to Africa. Wow. And I spent 13 of those years in West Africa. So I knew West Africa fairly well, and so knowing the cultural background of that part of the African continent, knowing how to work in that environment was a big bonus. And the team that I put together are a team of professionals, predominantly African hands, who've been there, done that and seen it, and they too have got that kind of knowledge, because you're 100% right. The team is what unlocks the value. God puts the gold in the ground, but it's us that take it out of the ground and make it into money and an investment criteria.
And besides you, who are the most crucial people working for you? Do you have anyone based in Liberia?
Yes, we have a solid team in Liberia. We maintain the camp, including the, I guess you would call it the semi-political team in Monrovia itself. But I think next to myself, and I say that in inverted commas, the most important guy would be a guy called Andrew Pedley, who's our senior exploration manager. He knows the resource intimately, and so when it comes to discussing it, highlighting the opportunities and defining their threats, because there's always threats, he's the right guy, and he's done a great job in building that resource up into what now is a quality number and a quality of resource in the ground.
Okay. And if we talk about 2023, which is ahead more or less, what can we expect to hear from your company?
I think you're going to see us in the press reasonably often, and the reason is that our company is currently undergoing a strategic review, which basically means we've got two investment bankers looking at us to say what should we do next, which includes every option that's on the table, every single one. And when you think one of those options is based on the fact that we've got 4 million ounces of gold, not too many companies in this world have got 4 million ounces of gold in their inventory, 2.8 million being reserve. So as companies need to recharge their inventories by buying companies, by acquisition, by merger, I think we're on the hit list for moving this company forward from that perspective. Plus, we've got other initiatives. We've got a review of the capital. When we did our numbers, the capital intensity was very high because everything in that time of the world was just going in one direction. Shipping rates were the highest ever. Cyanide was the highest ever. Steel was the highest ever. So now, 9 months later, we're able to review it, I think, and significantly reduce the capital, which will make it more attractive. And we also have the opportunity of a hydropower station. So from an ESG perspective, we have a nice, cleaner project to develop, even though it is a mine, and mines have their own dilemmas when it comes to environment, but we have an ESG satisfactory type environment.
Do you think this is getting more and more important, the environmental issues?
Absolutely, no doubt. I think there will be at some stage a meeting of minds that has to take place, because you can't have one without the other. So you can't have the clean environment and no metals, so you've got to balance the metals with the environment. But yeah, they are growing in importance, and I think ESG in general is beginning to pick up. People know that if we don't do something, then we're heading towards one direction. So yeah, I agree with you.
And probably the last question is, you're an insider in natural resources. What are your thoughts about gold price developments and other price developments in general?
I wish I had a crystal.
I know it's a tough question.
I wish I had a crystal ball. But I do believe in gold. I've been in gold I first went to Ashanti Goldfields in 1987. And when I first saw free gold being collected from the gravity circuit, it's hard not to fall in love with gold. So I like gold, and I do believe there's a position for it. So I do think if the American stock exchange and the American financial markets get a grip, then we will see the gold moving up. But I do like copper, and I do like lithium.
But you like them for economic reasons, I guess.
I think they are both critical and valuable, and the value will just increase going forward.
Thank you very much. All the best for the future. I hope I see you soon somewhere around this world, and take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.